The story begins in a traditional Japanese house, surrounded by clear water and lush greenery. The place feels calm and peaceful. Inside the house, a young boy named Minato walks behind his grandfather while holding a pot in his hands. When they enter a room, his grandfather helps him place the pot on a high shelf. After that, the old man gives Minato some snacks and asks him to put them on the shelf as well. As Minato carefully places the snacks, a little girl in a nearby room suddenly turns, as if she smelled them. A moment later, she rushes in and grabs his attention. While he's distracted, she quickly takes the snacks from the shelf and runs away. Minato turns around and catches her, but before he can react, the girl gives him a cute smile and disappears into thin air. Thinking she's a ghost, Minato gets scared. However, his grandfather calmly reassures him that the girl is real. He explains that Minato has the ability to see things that most people cannot. The girl is actually a peaceful spirit who has been living in their home for a long time. Several years later, after growing up, Minato leaves his grandfather's house and moves into a large abandoned house that once belonged to a distant relative. As he walks toward his new home, a young man named Harama notices him and feels surprised to see someone new moving into the neighborhood. When Minato arrives, he is shocked by how big the house is. However, a strange dark aura seems to come from deep inside, making him feel uneasy. Even so, he ignores it and tries to open the gate using his key. The moment the key touches the lock, a mysterious power appears and pushes away the dark mist. Surprised, Minato looks at the note and key in his hand and realizes that the writing on the note has completely disappeared. Before he can understand it, a strong gust of wind suddenly blows the note out of his hand. The paper flies through the air and lands on top of a hidden shrine, where the remaining writing slowly fades away. Deep inside the shrine, a pair of sharp, intimidating eyes opens. Back inside the house, Minato sets down his luggage and starts writing a list of all the cleaning he needs to do. While talking to his mother on the phone, he wonders why no one bought such a large house. His mother explains that many people came to see it, but all of them left without giving any reason. Minato finds this strange, but doesn't think too much about it. He focuses on cleaning and eventually finishes tidying up the entire place. Later, he walks into the garden and notices some flowers lying on the ground. Confused, he realizes he didn't bring any flowers. At the same time, he spots a strange creature watching him from the bushes before it quickly hides. After a while, a gardener arrives and spends a few hours fixing the garden. Once he's done, he asks where to plant new trees. Since Minato is only staying temporarily, he decides not to plant anything new, and the gardener agrees. Suddenly, a dark aura forms around the gardener's shoulder, causing him intense pain. Minato notices something is wrong. At that moment, a strong wind blows through the house, sending one of Minato's notes flying toward the gardener. The note hits the man's shoulder, and instantly the pain disappears. The gardener is relieved and amazed. Meanwhile, Minato realizes that the writing on his note has vanished again. Looking around, Minato notices some herbs on the ground and asks if the gardener brought them. The gardener says he didn't bring any extra plants, leaving Minato even more confused. The next morning, Minato wakes up and steps outside to get some fresh air. To his surprise, he finds a bunch of raspberries placed right in front of his door. This time, he catches a glimpse of a strange creature leaving the area, reminding him of the spirit girl from his childhood. Minato finally realizes that a special being has been leaving him these gifts. Wanting to show his gratitude, he decides to go to the market and buy some offerings. When he returns, he places sweets and drinks in the garden as a sign of thanks. Soon, a mysterious fox appears, drawn by the delicious smell. The fox reveals its true form and politely apologizes for entering the property. Shocked, Minato wonders why a white dog is talking to him. The fox quickly corrects him, saying he's not a dog. His name is Yamagami, and he is the god of the local mountain. Yamagami is surprised that Minato is so calm after seeing him. Minato explains that he just feels grateful because Yamagami kindly brought him so many gifts. He then offers the sweets and drinks, and Yamagami happily starts eating without hesitation. While enjoying the sweets, Minato also offers him alcohol. However, Yamagami refuses and asks for normal water instead, explaining that his powers are currently too weak to handle alcohol. Minato agrees and gives him bottled water, which Yamagami enjoys just as much as natural spring water. After finishing, Yamagami thanks Minato for saving him. He explains that Minato's power drove away evil spirits that were draining his strength. Minato feels confused since he doesn't remember fighting any spirits, but Yamagami explains that the writing on his notes contains a special power that can remove evil spirits. At that moment, Minato finally understands why his writing always disappears after those strange events. After that, Minato calmly returns to pouring water for the fox. This time, he offers Yamagami a bottle of sparkling water. The moment Yamagami takes a sip, he is completely surprised by the fizzy sensation. Even so, he quickly grows to enjoy the bubbles and continues drinking with excitement. While watching him, Minato starts wondering why his writing has the power to drive away evil spirits. Even Yamagami admits that he doesn't fully understand the reason. Instead, he asks Minato if people have always praised his calligraphy. Minato nods and begins explaining. His family used to run an inn, and one day, a customer noticed the nameplate he had written. That customer insisted they should never take it down and even suggested Minato create one for his own future home. He was so impressed that he paid Minato to make another piece. Since that day, Minato started practicing calligraphy as a hobby and kept improving his skills. Curious, Yamagami asks to see his work. Minato happily shows him several nameplates he made. After looking at them, Yamagami tells him to hang them around the house. Once Minato places the nameplates throughout the house, something incredible happens. Each one begins to glow, and together they form a square-shaped barrier surrounding the entire property. Minato is shocked to see that his writing holds such powerful energy. Yamagami explains that if he trains properly, his ability could become even stronger. A few days later, Yamagami returns again, mainly to eat more sweets. After finishing them, he proudly shows Minato that his strength has recovered. However, his power shines so brightly that he has to suppress it to avoid overwhelming Minato. Meanwhile, in an abandoned building, two evil spirits attack Harama. He quickly starts chanting and creates a blue barrier just in time to block their attack. Instead of continuing the fight, the spirits retreat and escape outside. Harama immediately chases after them, worried they might harm innocent people nearby. As he runs through the streets, he suddenly notices Minato walking out of an alley. Before he can warn him, one of the spirits crashes directly into Minato. To Harama's shock, the spirit is instantly destroyed on impact, as if it hit something far stronger than itself. After it vanishes, a small glowing orb drops to the ground unnoticed. Meanwhile, Minato only realizes that his shopping list has disappeared again. Confused, he starts complaining about it to Harama. Trying to help, Harama casually asks if he needed something like trash bags. Luckily, that was exactly what Minato wanted to buy. Relieved, Minato thanks him and quickly heads to the market, while the mysterious orb quietly slips away into the streets. Back at the house, Yamagami looks at the neglected garden and decides to restore it using his power. Soon the water becomes clear again, and the plants regain their freshness. When Minato returns, he is amazed by the transformation. He thanks Yamagami, but then notices that the fox has shrunk into a smaller form after using too much energy. A few days later, Minato comes home expecting to see Yamagami as usual. Instead, he finds him even smaller than before, along with 3 tiny animals beside him. Yamagami explains that they are his familiars, Siri, Utsugi, and Toka. Minto offers sweets to the little creatures, and they eagerly devour everything. After eating their fill, Yamagami regains his normal size, satisfied by the energy he absorbed. Just then, Yamagami senses someone outside and tells Minto to check the door. Standing there is Harama, visibly nervous as he feels a powerful presence coming from inside the house. Once inside, Harama reveals that he is a professional exorcist, working for a government agency. He asks Minato if he was the one who destroyed the spirit at the market. Minato recalls the event but still doesn't fully understand what happened. Harama explains that the number of evil spirits has been increasing recently. Because of that, he asks Minato to create a talisman for him. Minato feels confused by the request, but Yamagami quietly tells him to just write something like a shopping list. So Minato asks Harama if that would be okay. Harama is completely stunned and starts imagining something suspicious. But when Minato begins writing ordinary items like tea and toilet paper, Harama nearly chokes in disbelief. After finishing the list, Harama senses a strong power within it. At the same time, Minato suddenly feels exhausted. Yamagami explains that using his ability consumes a lot of energy. Realizing the value of what he received, Harama offers a large amount of money as payment. Minato initially refuses, saying it's just a simple list, but Harama insists that he cannot undervalue such power. Eventually, Minato accepts the payment. As a final gesture, Minato draws a pentagon symbol on Harama's hand, saying it might help him in his work. Right then, Harama receives an urgent call about a dangerous spirit and rushes out immediately. When he arrives at the scene, he finds his fellow exorcists cornered by a massive evil spirit, unlike anything they've seen before. Without hesitation, Harama charges forward. The spirit turns toward him and prepares to devour him, but at that exact moment, the pentagon symbol on his hand activates. In an instant, the powerful spirit is completely destroyed. Harama stands there in shock, finally realizing just how incredible Minato's power truly is. With that, the episode 1 ends here.